So beside me here I have a 2026 Ford F-150 King Ranch in Agate Black. We're going to do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here I have the 2026 Ford F-150 King Ranch in Agate Black. And from a trim point of view, I gotta say the King Ranch is probably one of my favorite additions to the F-150 lineup. So let's start right here at the front. You're going to get these LED daytime running lights that stretch down to your fog lights with LED lights. Now as we carry over into the center here, you're going to get a chromed out grille, but it's got that Marsh Grey color, as we can see, that is horizontally integrated there with that Marsh Grey bumper. So I like the fact that with this generation King Ranch, instead of giving you that chrome bumper, they've given you the Marsh Grey look with a little bit more chrome down below. You're going to get two recovery hooks as well with that plastic air dam. You're also going to get your parking sensors as well on the bumper. But I gotta say, I love that two-tone that the King Ranch gives you around the bottom of the truck. Now this one here has the blue Ford badge here, no black appearance pack on this one, with a camera at the front to encompass your full 360 camera. I'm not a huge chrome person, but I like the way they've integrated the chrome here at the front. I don't think it's really in your face. I like it. It just kind of goes well with the black and then the Marsh Grey accents. But let me know what you guys think. That's it here at the front. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the engine of choice. All right, so taking a look underneath the hood here of this F-150 King Ranch, we got the 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost producing 400 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque, hooked up to the 10-speed auto. I truly do like this motor, but personally I'm still going to go with a 5 liter. I just like the way it sounds and the responsiveness of a V8 as opposed to the V6. Now this engine does have great capability when it comes to payload, towing, and fuel economy, but like I said, I still prefer the 5 liter. Let me know what you guys think. That's it underneath the hood here. Let's take a look around the King Ranch and go over its options. So let's take a look around the F-150 King Ranch here, and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we're sitting on a 20-inch chromed out wheels, we can see, with the King Ranch logo in the center. 275/60 R20 is the tire size, and we are sitting on Pirelli tires. We've got a plastic liner inside, no air suspension on this truck. Now we've got the chromed out King Ranch F-150 fender vent badge here with more of that Marsh Grey color here with the King Ranch logo. We've got a body matched mirror cap here with a camera underneath and also a light. Now we'll take a look at the side profile view of the truck. As you can see, it does have your power running boards that I have extended for you guys to look at. You've got that Marsh Grey color, so the two-tone of the black and the gray at the bottom, 5.5 foot bed, and you've got some more chrome around the windowsills there. But from a side view, I think the King Ranch has an appropriate amount of chrome around the truck. Now let's take a look inside here. You also get keyless entry on only the front two doors. Now this is where the King Ranch I feel like really shines with the color inside, but we'll start with the door panel. You're going to get a two-tone brown here with some brown stitching. King Ranch here on the side. Your B&O speaker here with lock and unlock here, and then some real wood trim, which I think looks great. You're going to get more storage down below. King Ranch here on the door sill, and then over here is the seat, and I think the seats look great and they feel amazing. You've got your seat adjustments here. Now you're going to get massaging seats in the King Ranch as well. King Ranch logo here, and then also another one here. But the seats, like I said, very, very comfortable, heated and ventilated too. Over here on the top, you're going to get more of that King Ranch logo here. And then this is an upper glove box area. You're going to get some brushed aluminum, and then your lower one as well with some storage, and then more of that brushed aluminum here. But the thing with the King Ranch, obviously you're going to have to enjoy and really like the brown. This is really the only interior you're going to get, but I personally think it's beautiful. You also have a full moonroof here as well, with your handles on the A-pillars to help you get in. Now let's take a look at the back here. And this is what the back looks like. So you're greeted with that same interior. All soft touch here with really nice leather. You're going to get that brown stitching and piping. B&O speaker, more of that brushed aluminum here. Cup holder, real wood trim, and then some storage down below. Nothing here on the door sill. And then over here is what the seat looks like. So King Ranch logo here, and the seats, like I said, feel really, really nice. Now you do have storage underneath here. So it's a 60-40 split. You could actually close this and make it more of a flat floor if you wish, or you can obviously have it for storage, and then you can close this here. Now over here inside, you're going to get heated seats, 2 USB-Cs with your 120 and your cup holders there at the top. And then you're going to get pockets in here on both sides of the seats to put things if needed, with 2 handles as well. And then I will open up the moonroof so you guys can see it. But this is essentially what it looks like before you hop in. Let me show you guys how I would fit in here, someone who's about 5'11". All right, so hopping inside, the running board that comes down is going to help you with this handle to get into the truck. And like I said, the seats are very comfy. The back part of the cushion of the seat is very comfy. It's kind of like spongy, so when you sit your back into it, it actually feels nice. I do wish they put screens back here. You know, if you're going to be here for a long time, I think having screens would be beneficial. And the headroom's not bad. I mean, right now I only have like an inch, I would say, of headroom, and that's the problem when you get the moonroof, is that it compromises a little bit of the headroom. But since you got the flat floor here, you can actually put your feet out, and you know, you can definitely hang out here for a decent amount of time. I do wish they put cooled seats back here, and I also wish you could recline the seat forward so you can actually lay down a little bit more. But overall, it's very comfy. You got your vents back here with your 122 heated seats, cup holders, and your USB-Cs. So that's really it for the back. And then to get out, grab the handle, your running board comes out. Oh, just make sure you don't slip, and that's it. Let me know what you guys think. That's it for the back here. One thing that I liked that they did with the running board is they stretched it to the back of the bed, so it is easier for you to reach into the back here to get something if needed. And then here's a look at that back tire and wheel. Same dimensions here in the back as it is in the front. And then there's a look of more of that Marsh Grey trim at the bottom of the truck, and you're going to get more of that plastic liner in here. Now that Marsh Grey color actually carries inside too. As you can see, it's painted on, and then you've got that 4x4 sticker there on the bed. But that is it for a side profile view. Let's take a look at that back tail. So in the back here of the F-150 King Ranch here, we'll start in the middle. We've got the Ford badge there with the F-150 name stamped right below that. We've got the King Ranch logo on the left, nothing there on the right. We've got that Marsh Grey bumper down below with your parking sensors. No dual exhaust there. You're only going to get one exhaust port over on the passenger side. And then this is what the rear tail lights look like. So they are LEDs and they look really good. Now you're only going to get a camera here. And as you can see, there's two lines here. So you can open the tailgate a couple ways, normally with a button, which we'll do. But this one has the bed utility package with the Pro Access tailgate. So to open the tailgate like a swing door, there is an arrow here that you click, and then you can access the back of the tailgate by just doing that. Now, as you can see here, there is no spray and bed liner, which you still can get, but you're going to get that 120 plug over here, and then this is for your exterior lights. So one there, and one here. Now, Ford used to just kind of give this to you in the higher trims, but it's part of the bed utility group, which you do have to get. And then you can get cargo tie-down clamps in each corner there, and then you're going to get some storage also over here on the side. Now, that's the one way to use the tailgate, and then you can close it like this. And then there's a button over here below the camera, which you can click, and the tailgate will come down automatically. It will automatically go up as well when you click that button. Now, this one has the measurements here on the tailgate, and then you've got some tie-down areas, or beer bottle openers, as I say, in the back. But essentially that is how you can open the tailgate in two ways. Now, if you click this button here, the tailgate will also come up. Now, you're also going to get clamp down holders here as well to clamp on the tailgate if needed. Now, this one here does not have that rear camera for your bed, but as you can see, you do have that rear sliding window. I am surprised that there is no rear camera for the back here, but that is it for the back here, guys. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver. I just want to say thank you to Kitchener Ford here in Kitchener, Ontario. Go see my boy Connor. He'll hook you up with a great deal on one of these units. So in the back here of the F-150, behind the driver, we'll start with the door panel. You're going to get that two-tone brown again with some brown stitching and piping. Window control, door handle here, brushed aluminum, cup holder here, B&O speaker, more storage. Nothing here on the door sill. And then again, this is what the seats look like. So again, soft and plush and all brown. And then over here, you've got your two vents, two heated seats there, USB-Cs, and then your 120 plug with your cup holders there at the top. I do wish they put your own climate control back here. I think that's just a more luxurious thing to add, especially when you're paying, you know, like 100 grand Canadian for this thing. Then you also have your handles on both sides. So that's it for the back here. All right, so taking a look inside here on the driver's side of things on the King Ranch, we'll start with the door panel. All soft touch here, more of that brown leather at the top with some brown stitching and piping. I love this King Ranch logo here with this brushed aluminum look. You've got your window and mirror controls here. I do wish they chromed the top of these. I think it just adds more luxury to the truck. Memory seating here with lock and unlock, and then these mirrors are power folding with your blind spot detection. You've got King Ranch here on the door sill, and then this is what the seat looks like here on the driver's side. You're going to get more chrome also around these seats too. And again, these are massaging seats. seats at the front. No speakers here in the headrest, but you've got your King Ranch logo here. And then I also wanted to show you guys what the moonroof looks like when it's open. So you're going to get a lot more light when it is open inside here. And then here's what the front looks like. So this steering column is black, which is interesting that they didn't do brown, because you can see all below is brown. And then we've got your tailgate release here, lights, parking brake. You can move the pedals forward and back, your light controls, and then these are your mirror lights as well. And then you're going to get more of that brushed aluminum look. But the steering column is automatically adjusted with this button over here. And then to open the hood is this latch here. That's it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look inside. So we are inside the F-150 King Ranch here. We'll start with the steering wheel. We've got a leather wrap steering wheel here, as we can see. In the middle of the steering wheel, though, is black. I'm surprised they didn't make this part brown. It is what it is, I guess. But you've got this brushed aluminum here that's got like a brown color to it. You've got King Ranch here at the bottom with the King Ranch logo. Over here is going to be your cruise control buttons with your adaptive cruise control and your distance selection. And then you've got your volume and your voice command there. On the right side is going to be your instrument cluster controls. So you can scroll through. Let's just say if you want to go to my view, you can go to your driver assistance. You can also do a calm view. So if people don't want a lot of like things going on at the front here, it'll just show you how fast you're going and how many miles until you're empty. And then if you want your trips, you can do that as well, or your fuel economy. So that's just cycled through these buttons here. And then if you hit menu, you can go into your different settings if you want to. Then you also have your tuning buttons here with your call hang up and call pickup. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have your toggles for your wipers. Nothing here on this side, but as you can see, you got King Ranch logos all around the interior. No heads-up display here, which is really interesting, especially on the King Ranch. You got a soft touch here that feels good with some brown stitching, B&O speaker there at the top with some storage, and then more of that soft touch there with some brown stitching. And then you got real wood trim there at the top with some more kind of that brushed aluminum look around. But I gotta say, the interior in general looks really, really good. I like the brown with that brushed aluminum look, and then that real wood trim too that's carried throughout around the interior. Now over here at the top, you're gonna have your automatic stop start. You've got vents on the sides here, pro trailer backup, engine push button start, and then here is your 12-inch display screen. It works very well. It's a great size. It integrates itself nicely into the dash here, and it's very intuitive. You've got all your hotkeys down here, audio, phone, navigation. You have your favorites here, which we put vehicle settings, apps, settings, and features. And then you could just click and it will go into that setting. And like you saw, it's very fast. Now, one cool thing is over here is you can click these arrows here and it will go through the different settings that are on this side. Or you can click this here and scroll with your finger. Just depends honestly on what you want. Now, if we go to audio here, we got different sources that we can click. So we got AM, FM, Sirius XM, and Bluetooth audio. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got your phone that you can hook up here too, app settings and features. Your features button is going to house your truck features. So your driver assistance, running board, zone lighting. Zone lighting is cool. It will let you turn on any of the exterior lights at night, which helps, I would say, if you're at like a campsite or something, or just in general if you need to see, because they are all LEDs, which is pretty cool. But it works really well. You can click this little arrow here and it will swap over the navigation over to this side to make it a little bit bigger for people. But that's really it for the screen. Down below here, I like the fact that they've given you climate control buttons. I really like that they give you the buttons instead of putting everything into the screen, because if the screen lags or fails, at least you can control your climate. It does have dual zone climate, so when you move it here, it'll show on the screen, even in the top corners. You've got heated and ventilated seats here. Now it does have massaging seats, so when you click the side button on the seat, you can hit massage, and then you can change whatever massage feature you want and the intensity. And then over here at the top, you've got your tuning. You've got your camera button here that you can click and it goes onto the screen, and then you can change the angles depending on what you need when you are using the cameras. You got other tuning buttons here, and then your traction control. Over here on the left side, you've got your trailer brake controller and then your different drive modes here. So when you swap over this, it'll go into different settings. So you got tow haul, you've got eco, you've got sport, and then you can go back to your normal. Then you can go to your slippery and then your off-road, and it will change your 4x4 settings depending on which mode you want to be in. It does have 4 auto, which is pretty cool, and your rear locker if you push this in. Now over on the right side, you do have your 12 volts and your 120 plug. Over in the center here, we can actually close this, and it is a real wood trim with the King Ranch logo. And I gotta say, the wood feels really good. And then you can open it. You got wireless charging, USB, USB-C, and more storage. And then over here in the center, we've got your center console shifter, and you got a pocket here if you don't want to put the center console shifter down to store things, with another storage pocket here with 2 cup holders. Then you got more of that brushed aluminum on both sides. This one does have that side pocket too, which is also nice to know to store things. And then over here in the center, you've got your King Ranch logo here. Now this one does have the interior work surface. So by pushing this button here, you can actually open this and have an interior work surface and plug in whatever you need to plug in, which I think is really nice, especially if you want to even eat lunch here. This platform works really well, and you can only do this when you are parked. You can also see you got some more chrome here, but I think that is a great idea to utilize more space in the cabin if you wish. Now you can open this up here, and you're going to get some more storage down below here that you can open up with 2 more USB-Cs. And then at the top here is how you control your moonroof here. You can also close the sunshade with your lights, and then you have a sunglass holder. Now at the top here, you can see the liner is brown as well, and your sun visors are too. But that is really it for the interior, guys. Let me know what you think. I think the interior is beautiful. It is an acquired taste, but I mean, if you're getting the King Ranch, you obviously want the brown anyway. So that's it for the inside. Let's go outside, give you guys my final thoughts, and talk price. So let's talk price. 2026 Ford F-150 King Ranch Edition here in Agate Black with the EcoBoost. We're sitting at $102,535 Canadian. Let me know what you guys think about the King Ranch in the comments. Curious to know if you'd rather go with the King Ranch or maybe a Platinum trim. I truly think that this F-150 trim is beautiful inside and out. But that concludes this review. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.